Hello, Arcade Adam. This is that pinball video I've been talking about. Hopefully I can teach you a thing or two. We're going to start with the basic tables, maybe do some future pinball, and then end up with the PUP Packs, because that seems to be where everybody gets tripped up. So get your notebook and get ready to write some things down. Come on in, let's go. All right, we're back. This could get complicated, and I know the screen looks insane, but just bear with me. I've got image capture going for the Marquee up top and the pinball playfield, and then on the right I've got what actually the cabinet's doing. I felt like I needed to do that to help both show you what's going on and how to fix things. It's a balance, because it's going to be hard to see some of the menus a little bit too, so maybe in post I'll zoom in if I have to, if it's hard to see, but hopefully this works. We're going to try this, and the reason we're starting with this table is it's one of the most common issues with a non-PUP pack table is you've got two DMDs. And what am I talking about? So technically three, actually. This table has DMD elements on the main screen, so it's got the scores and credits. So if I credit up, see that 3 goes to a 4 right here, and then it also does it on the back glass up here, the back glass, and then also on this DMD. And here's lesson number 1. This DMD, you can just click and drag and move it wherever the heck you want. Now, the screens are laid out to where you have your primary screen in front of you, so it's just right there, and straight main primary 1080p screen, and the marquee should be set up to the right. And I will put an image on screen to help show you what I'm talking about. But that's the way things are intended to work. That's the way things work if you have an actual VPin. If you go into the virtual pin community, that's how they tell you to set things up. That's how I learned how to do it. I'm sure you can get it to work if you monkey around and do other things, but for purposes of this video, that's how we're going to do it. So anyway, first thing, maybe you want to move this because you've already got 2 sets of scores on this table. So I like to drag this and then move it. See, what also can happen is just that. If you drag it to the edge, it'll sometimes blow up to the screen. So just kind of drag it over a little bit. I'm going to have a little bit more challenges because I'm doing this in a virtual window. I'm not actually on the cabinet, as you can see behind me. So bear with me. But now that we've got that over there, we can click and drag again, and we can put it somewhere on this screen. Now, with this table in particular, it's already got 2 DMDs. You got your back glass and then the desktop background of the table itself. So for what I do for tables like this is I make this super tiny because I don't want to get rid of it, and then I put it somewhere where it's not going to bug me, like down there. Like, you wouldn't know it's there unless somebody told you it was there. And then once I get it in a spot where I like it, because I guess I should explain, when you click and drag, you want to aim for the lower right-hand corner. See how it gets those dots? So you drag on those, and you can make it any size you want, because some of these PUP packs need goofy sizes. They have like predetermined DMD sizes. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Make it small. Put it somewhere nondescript. I'll even make it smaller than that. You want to just make it big enough to where you can grab it. And then this is key. When you right-click on it, you can save position globally. Don't do that. Unless you want to reset it for every single table. Every table will have a tiny little postage stamp DMD down there. What you want to do is save position for this game. It's like the MAME settings. You can save settings for global, or you can save settings for the whole, just for the table or for the whole thing. And you want to save position just for KISS in this instance for the table we're doing. So now when I start this up again, it'll be down there. So you see how that kind of kicked back on? After you get done messing with your DMD, you click anywhere on the play field with your mouse, and you're good to go. And then you can press start. You should get a ball. And if I got my buttons down, I can play. And that's the EM version of KISS. I think this came out in like '79. It's one of the last EM tables. But it's a cool table. There we go. Probably won't get a copyright strike for the doorbell chime version of these songs, hopefully. In any case, you get the idea. Now you've got scores and credits happening on the main playfield. They're also happening on the back glass. This table's set. So let's get out of here. So another one, let's see. That's a good example. Where it doesn't have, I think, Full Metal Jacket. What can I play where I'm not gonna get messed up by the? Oh, maybe Sunset Riders. Let's try that. I'll edit this out if this table doesn't work. Oh, and I labeled it Marquee for you guys so you can see what's up. See the screen behind that's kind of funny. Okay, so this is a newer table. Let me turn this down in case that's too loud. And see, I can click on this. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, and if it's being recorded, but this DMD, you can't move it. So this DMD, the ones that are colored like this, it's hard to describe but it just looks, notice it looks a little different. It's not just the orangish red lights as before. There's no little white dots. This is built into Visual Pinball, the actual emulator itself. So you can't move it. As far as I know, I'm sure if you edited the table, you could like move it within the assets of the table, but nobody wants to do that, and it's in a place where it's not bugging anybody. You're good to go, have fun. But I just wanted to note that for this table, and I think the new one, maybe Doom, had that as well. And you'll notice in Doom it's different colors and it looks fancy. And you'll kind of understand, once you get used to this, you'll see the newer tables have these built-in DMDs that you just don't have to mess with. And this one looks really cool. It uses images and artwork and stuff. So you're good to go there. Let's try Reanimator. And then we'll move on to PUP Packs. Okay, so this one's much the same. So this one has a back glass that doesn't. We've got the DMD over here, and then we've also got the DMD on the playfield. So you kind of, this is best of both worlds in my opinion. I like having the DMD up on the marquee, and I like having it on the playfield itself. So I wouldn't, if this were me, maybe you want to, oops, I grabbed the wrong thing there. Let's put that back. I got to go up here. I'm looking at too many windows, but see how I can grab that, move it around. The table stops animating because I'm not messing with it. So again, we could shrink it down, put it lower in the corner or whatever. I like having it bigger because when people are watching you play, they can look at the marquee. And so you're not crowding the screen looking at this one down here. So I like having that a little bigger. You could put it in the middle, right below that guy. That's a little, well, that doesn't look that bad actually. Put that right there. And then again, right click, save position. This is a reskin of Diamond. That's why it says Diamond, or you can do globally. Don't want to do that. So I'm going to save it for the table. And then I'm going to click on the playfield and see how it's lit up. And now I can play again. So that's how you do that. Now say you can't even find this DMD. Maybe you were messing with it and it got drug off into outer space, or it's tinier than a grain of sand or whatever. So let me show you how to reset that. You want to open up your Explorer window. You want to you can go straight to the shortcut I have over here, the Visual Pinball shortcut. This is here we'll start over. We'll go to the D drive, arcade, system ROMs, Visual Pinball, and then here are all your tables, and you're looking for the B2S server setup, I believe. There you go, B2S setup.exe. And this gets you this is a global setting now, so if you set this, all your stuff will move around. But here, down at the bottom is your offset. So this is your height and width. So your default width is 800 pixels. Your default height is 200 pixels. I would mess with that. That's a pretty good size. As you saw on mine, that's about what it shows up automatically. And then your offset is like where it's going to be on the x-axis. So you've got a ton of pixels, because it's 1920 wide. And then you've got the marquee. So that's pretty wide. I'm surprised 440 must be... That actually, math-wise, tells me it's off-screen, but mine's working, so I'm not going to monkey with it. But what I recommend doing is, so I'm 4400 and 745. If you do 0 and 0, that sets your global DMD position to bottom left on your primary display. So you can just grab it and then drag it wherever you want. but I'm not going to save that. I'm going to put it back. But that's how you reset it if you need to. And then also, if you're, while we're in here, if you don't have a standard size active marquee, this is where you edit your back glass. So all of your standard pinball tables, the size, here it is, 1920 wide, and my marquee is 348 high. But if you guys are rocking a regular monitor, this is going to be like 1080 high or 1440 high. You know, whatever your native resolution, whatever you're running in Windows, that's the resolution you want to put there. And then here's where you can pick your display too. So if it's on the wrong window, you move it from 1, 2, or 3. Mine's 2. I don't know what 3 is because I ain't got 3 displays, but you know how Windows is. This is a trial and error process for sure. So bring your notebook and bring your patience. And then you got your playfield up here, 1920, 1080. Don't mess with that. And that's about it. That's all we need to monkey with in here. So this one setting can change your DMD size globally, your DMD position globally, and then what your back glass size and position actually. If it's, I would leave this 0, 0 if you're going to set your whole display. Like I recommend, you know, if you have a second monitor, setting the whole thing to the back glass and then overlaying things on top of that. That's where you do that. So that's the setup. So this is the key application, the B2S setup.exe. For the regular visual pinball tables. Now, if you need to do this with future pinball, it gets a little messy, but it's still kind of the same process. Let's see, where did I... Oh, that's right. Future pinball is in the C drive, so let's go back to that. So C drive, V pinball, future pinball, and now it makes no sense, but it's actually the... Future Pinball EXE over here. If you run that directly, that's where you can set up the, because it actually runs out of BAM for the emulator, that FP loader. Don't do that. Just trust me. Go to Future Pinball and then go to Preferences, Video Rendering Options, and then your primary display should be set. That's 1920, 1080. No rotation because you're not playing on a virtual pinball cabinet, you know, where you have a rotated display. You would set that to 270 if that's what you're trying to do. And then you want to go to your second display to set your back box. If you want to, you know, check the box up here, use second monitor, check back box, and then this is where you set that resolution and all that stuff. So that's where you would set this up. Now, counterintuitive to your resolution, if you have a marquee like mine, where the native res is 1920 by 350, I still go 1920, 1080, and then I squish it. Because as you can see here, there's no custom resolution sizes. So you have to choose what's close. Oh, actually, I just noticed that there's a 1920 340, which is close to my resolution. I am 348. So I might try that later. But typically what I've been doing is I've been setting it to 1920 1080, and then it stretches to the screen. So let's actually try the 1920 340. See what happens. So that's box check, block, full screen, arcade mode. But, you know, take a look at these settings. Make your screen look as mine. I'm not an expert at this. I always look up guides from Terry Red and Nailbuster, the guys that invented basically all the cool virtual pin stuff we get to play with, including Pinup Popper and all that stuff. They are the virtual pinball godfathers. So Terry Red and Nailbuster. Search those guys on YouTube if you want even better guides. And there's even more, you know, obviously ones that I'm missing, but those are the two that I look for. But make yours look like mine, and let's test it now that I saw that setting. That was new. So let's go to the future pinball. Now I've been messing with this because I had to update it for Star Wars Death Star Assault Galactic Edition, but let's go to a table I know worked before and just see if it did anything. And what it did to, excuse me, the marquee. Okay, see, that changed the res there. Oh boy, that's gonna load the table up there based on what I know. When you get your splash screen like that, so I must have, because I think I changed the setting where it said primary display on display 2. So I got to change that back. Live troubleshooting. Yeah. So we put everything up there. Yep. So we get out of there. And we'll load. See, this is another way to get to it. Right click on any future pinball table and just open future pinball. And we'll go back into those settings. And yeah, see, I've got monitors display 1, and then back box just should be display 2. There's a resolution. So play field is display 1, back box is display 2 with the goofy res. Should be good. Let's try that. I whoopsied. Now I should get that splash screen on this page. There we go. Oh, and we got, see, now we got the loading screen here, and we got the marquee splash image. Oh, there we go. Cool. See how you can, it's squished. That's what I was talking about. And for some reason my image capturing software isn't working. But if you can see behind me and up there, the table's playing just fine. I can coin up. It must be in like full screen exclusive mode kind of thing. And then, yeah, so can I launch the ball? Yep, look at that. I can kind of play. That's tough. All right, we're going to exit out of that before I get any copyright strikes for that music. But you see what I'm talking about. So we're good there. So that's how you mess with future pinball backglass and table images. And then now let's go to PUP Packs, because I know those can be tricky. Oh, shoot. There's some really good ones that I can't launch any of these for obvious reasons. Here we go. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's got a PUP Pack. So let me just show you how it should work. I think this one's working for me. And also, good point for this too. A lot of these table creators are using beta versions of VPX. This guy's using 10.7.2, which I don't even think is publicly available at this point. And you get this little message sometimes. You just hit OK. It'll be fine. It'll still load. And that's just the price you pay for playing the latest and greatest. So there's the PUP Pack. We've got the video loading up, and then here's the table itself. And like, oh, this is perfect. So this is that DMD thing I was talking about. Yeah, see how we got this DMD over here, and this area right here, this little golden window is where it should be. So that's where we're going to put this. We're going to drag this over here, and we're going to try to get the size right, like this. And then we try to put it down here. It's a little squished, so let's go. If this song is copyrighted, that'd be the worst way to go down. Anyway, see how you sized it like that? And then it just kind of fits in this little window where they expect. We're going to right click, save position, and we'll click back on the play field, and that's going to light up. So if that's the condition, is if your PUP Packs are playing in the it's kind of a tongue twister. If your PUP Packs are playing in the place they should be, you take your real DMD and stick it on top of your PUP Packs, and when you launch the ball and stuff, they stay there. So you can see we're going to get scores and video elements kind of layered together there. So that's how these older tables that have PUP Packs work. Some of the newer newer tables with newer PUP Packs, they basically, you can turn the DMD off because they take video elements and can keep score that way. Like the Batman 66 table has a PUP Pack that has the score built into it. So that's how that works. Anyway, let's launch this ball and I can show you what I'm talking about. We can see that the DMD is changing. See, there's our score. And we're good to go. So that's that. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, probably why you guys all came here. How do you change your PUP Packs for different resolutions? Like, say, again, you don't have the standard active marquee that Extreme Home Arcades puts in our arcades. You did it yourself and you got a monitor. So in the tools folder, I believe I put a shortcut that says PUP Pack Screen Editor. So File Explorer, Tools folder, PUP Pack Screens Editor. And so from here, again, there's two ways to do this. There's the global edit, which I recommend everybody do. So like if all of your tables are screwed up, do the global edit first, and then you can fine tune each table as you see what they're doing on screen. So the global editor is over here on the right, configure displays and locations. So not a lot of people are going to have room for a topper, and I find this gets in the way often. So what I do is if you have a topper screen with your PUP pack, you go over here to default state, and I set it to off, disable, excuse me. So that'll hide it. So it doesn't matter where it is. It'll be in the background. And then DMD, I usually rely on the DMD that comes with Visual Pinball, not the DMD that PUP Packs can do. Now again, I know that sounds confusing, but when you have two DMDs, it's usually coming from two different sources, and one of them can be the PUP Pack. So I usually leave this off as well until I need it. So there's some PUP Packs that need this on because the tables are original creations and they don't have a Visual Pinball DMD. Hopefully that makes sense. There's multiple DMDs, like I was talking about in the beginning, that can be a source. So again, point being, I leave this off until I get a table where I was like, where's the DMD? I can't find it. Now, backglass, as you can see up top here, I stretch this to the full. See, and then this is warning me, hey, it's outside the range. This will, for whatever reason on my Marquee, it thinks I'm outside the range, even though my height and width, 1920 and 348, is my exact resolution. So I say no. But if you have a monitor and it guessed the right resolution of your monitor, you can hit yes and it'll automatically size it full screen. Mine messes it up, so I'm going to say no. Make sure this is show always on, because this is like the primary PUP pack display. And then the screen position is 1920. And that's because, again, your layout is your primary display and then your Marquee is to the right. So it's 1920 pixels to the right before it even starts. That's what that is. And then we're at 0 for vertical position because it's horizontally just straight across. And that's that. So just make sure that's on. Backglass. This is really the key setting for PUP Packs, because like I said, the backglass is where all the magic happens. You see all the videos, you see that frame. If you've got stuff,
can you say it again?
Ain't nobody talking to you. Come on, man.
Sorry, I don't know.
Interruptions. Sorry, guys. So, like I was saying, important setting, backglass. Make sure it's on. Make sure it's the right size. 90% of your troubles are going to be solved here. Another thing you can do is there's these buttons up here where you can hit them, where you automatically do ratios and full size and whatever. I like to manually set my resolution in the numbers just because I'm old school like that. But you can click and drag and move this thing around if you want to with the mouse, just like the other DMD. But I like to actually just, you know your resolution, your monitor, set it in here. Full stop. Just do that. That's my recommendation. But you can play around with the buttons, and you'll see it'll jump full screen, full width, all that stuff. Playfield, self-explanatory. This is the playfield, 1920, 1080, 00. Music, it's on hide. You don't have to mess with that. Now, apron and full DMD, this is the one where it can get sticky. Sometimes some PUP Packs use this a lot for scores, and they also use it for like the primary, like they're emulating the Jersey Jack style DMD, where it's a full color display. It's got stuff going on, like the Munsters table does this. So again, what I do with this one is I basically copy the settings from backglass. So again, it's yelling at me because it thinks it's not the right resolution, even though I know it is. So I'm going to hit no, don't fix it for me. The width is 1920. The height is 348 for me. If you got a monitor, that'll be 1080p or 1440, whatever your monitor resolution is. And then X position all the way to the right, 1920. And then always on for show, like your default state. So that'll layer on top. So some PUP Packs expect you to have 3 screens, and they'll have action on the backglass, action on the full DMD, and sometimes it's too much. So that's where I think I did this on Guardians for the Galaxy, or Guardians of the Galaxy for a while, is I had these split on the top Marquee. I had half the screen backglass and half the screen the full DMD. Eventually I settled on layered approach because I realized the full DMD wasn't on all the time. So this one's you gotta play with. If there's an individual table that is like Guardians of the Galaxy that has both, You know, try layering, try putting them in 2 different spots. Full DMD, you could pull down to the primary monitor and just put it to the right or the left of the playfield. Your choice. You can drag this stuff around, like I said, with the mouse, pull it around, move it around, set your resolutions in here, hit save. Just make sure this one, again, is always on show always, because there's a lot of content that goes here. And then after that, game select really isn't used. Default state's off. Loading really isn't even used. Other, game info, game help. These are all really for cabinet settings. And so I recommend leaving all the default states to off. And then just hit save settings and exit. So I'm just going to hit exit because mine's working good. And we're good to go. Excuse me. Okay. And then finally, you've done all that. You've done the large tuning. Now do the fine tuning. So say we had a problem with, here we go. Let's go, let's do the G.I. Joe table. Wasn't that, all right, we'll do Jaws. So say you got a problem with the Jaws PUP pack. You pull down your list. This is going to be all your tables. And then you hit load PUP pack. And then this is all of the Jaws screens. So it's got a topper, but I've set it to off. It's got a back glass, and a DMD, and all that stuff. And these are all set to on, basically. And where the screen's going to happen and that sort of thing. So this is where it can get ugly, because here's your custom positioning. So these numbers are basically the size and location as to where this stuff shows up. So I don't recommend doing this lightly. Only mess with these custom positions as a last resort if you need to fine tune it, because keep in mind you can always click and drag during the game these elements and they'll save, or at least they should if you don't crash the game before you exit. If you move them around and just exit the game, it should come back that way because it remembers the setting per table automatically. PUP Pack stuff does. So, but anyway, these are monitor locations, so monitor 2, and then grid location, and then also resolution. And then I'll pull it up on screen, the actual numbers. I forget. I think, oh yeah, it's grid monitor 2, grid location, X and Y size. That's what it is. So I don't need to do that. So yeah, first number is monitor. Second set of coordinates is position, and then the final 2 set of numbers is size in pixels. So that's what that is. And then also, if there's like an annoyingly loud element, you can set your volume percentage as well if you need to change that. So that's how you fine tune it. After you've done all your fine tuning, you hit save PUP pack. I'm going to hit cancel changes because I don't want to monkey with this. Yes, I want to discard any changes, but let's pick another one. You can see it can get pretty complicated. Let's just see what the Simpsons. That's not complicated. Cancel. Let's find a Scotty Wick table. Let's do the Stranger Things. That might be complicated. No PUP pack for STLE? Wait, I thought that was Stranger Things. I could be wrong on the name of it. Pizza Time's a PUP pack, or a Scotty Wick table. Let's load that. There you go. See? They can get a little nutty. So like I said, only go in there after you feel comfortable and mess with this stuff. But it's there. I wanted to show you where it was if you need to fine tune elements. But I think everybody's going to have a much better time configuring the larger screen elements in here. Turn off your topper. Set your DMD if you need it. I say leave it off until you need it. Back glass is where you want to be. Just to run through this stuff again, that should always be on. This is where all your content is. And then secondarily, where your content is on the full DMD. After that, you really, I mean, I personally, very rarely, I don't think I've edited any of the actual PUP packs past a volume change. I don't think I've done individual positioning. I do all my stuff in here just because it's such a minefield sometimes, if you will. And you'd have to kind of back these up. There's config files per PUP pack and yada, yada, yada. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I don't want to mess things up, and I don't want to show you guys something that would potentially mess things up. So I just stop there. That's the editor. So the PUP pack screens editor and tools is where you want to go for the screens editor. And then you can jump into some really cool PUP packs. Let's do something that might not hit me. Oh, let's do Independence Day. That was a cool one I got working recently. I gotta watch the new movie. I haven't seen the new movie yet. Oh, see, oh, you guys missed it. See, this one has that DMD, and look, it's hidden, but you saw it loading. But because it's off, it didn't show up in this window. So this is a perfect table where we could edit it and enable that. So maybe let me do that real quick, because this has a regular DMD. So the easy mode is to just drag this over here and into that box and resize it for the box that they've got for you and hit save for ID4. And who's better than you? That's easy mode. So maybe in a future video, I'll play around with enabling it. Oh, heck, let's do it live. I think we can do that. Let's edit just Independence Day. ID4, if I can find it. There we go. Load PUP Pack. And then, where's the DMD? Because it had it. Force back, topper, backlash music. Maybe what I saw was a topper? Maybe that was the topper. Because if that's a topper, you don't want it there because it won't show scores. So that's probably what that was then, because it's screen 0 is your playfield. So that's probably what it was. Yeah, and it's at force back. So this is how you make, here, let's get it to show up. Let's do show. And we'll hit save, and I bet it'll show up right on top of the DMD. There's going to be a little topper, and we'll have to move it. Yes, I want to close. And here, now pay attention to this area, or up, I think it was like up left. It kind of loaded before the table, so you could see it. Of course, now it's not going to show. Oh, no. Where'd it go? Unless it's underneath something. No? Well, that's funny. It like broke it. Huh. Well, there goes that theory. Let me edit my PUP Pack again. Again, like I said, guys, this is trial and error because each one of these is made by a different person. And their idea of certain elements may not be the same as other people's. PUP overlay, backlash video, music, backlash topper, screen 0. That should have showed. See, that should have worked. As far as I know, unless there's a force pop. Let's try that. Force back, force pop back. Backlash video. Let's do force pop back. We'll try to copy these settings. You know, take cues from others. Unless it's... No, because this is all on now. That's the only one that was off. Let's do save. And see if we can get this to work. Oh, there it is. See the ID4 topper? Okay. Now, nope, I don't want to do that. Let's see if we can do configure screens. Move this. Okay, so there's topper. Oh, it still says it's off. So let's do show always. And it's okay, so we're editing just for ID4. We'll hit save and exit setup. And I'll leave this here for now because I think we gotta, that's the other thing. When you make changes like that, close it, open it again. You know, the IT thing. Did you reboot? Yeah, we'll see if we can get it to show up. There you go. There. Oh, I saw it. It showed up for a second. Come on back. And see how my DMD went back to where it was? Oh, but that... I can't get that topper to show. I want that topper because it would be... We could put it right here. That's the thing. You can be creative with this. You put it wherever you want. So anyway, what I was doing is I hit the Windows key. This little like clover looking thing, this PUP display. You right click it, configure screens. And there's our... Yeah, and that's... See how it's... It's right there. That's the right size, position. We're going to force it to display 1. We don't want it that big. What was it? 500 width. And 300 high? No, we'll do 200 high. Force display boundaries, rotation none, show always. That should work. Okay. Try this one more time. Close it. Give it a few seconds. Open it. Nothing like a little live troubleshooting. Okay. Oh, it resized it, but see, it's disappearing again. Might need to reboot the whole computer, which I'm not gonna do with all this software running. But yeah, see, it's not there. Something is telling. I bet if we rebooted it would work. I will report back in this video. I can't show you because of all the recording stuff I have set up, but I will let you know if that worked. You may have to reboot the whole computer because it's definitely there. Anyway, that's how you do that. Down to the nitty-gritty, how you can edit each individual table. Let me know if I forgot anything. Do the usual YouTube stuff. And if there's any questions, I'll try to address them in the comments below. Let me know. And you guys know where to hit me otherwise. Like, subscribe, do all the regular, YouTuber stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.